Well, John, I can imagine the Swansea game was quite an enjoyable one to watch back.
I suppose it didn't feel enjoyable on the day until after the final whistle goes. Even towards the back end of the game, I think with the position we're in, we never feel it's quite done, and we always have to respect the opponent as well. So it was a bit better when you watch games back and you know what the result is. I think you watch them in a different light. It was a nice sort of nice thing to be able to do last night. But in all honesty, we've had to move on really quickly to the Sunderland game. So Sunderland played late last night, got a good result, and we've had to move on to that. We're back in today, and we've just been prepping for the Sunderland game. We're ready for Sunday.
Yeah, it is this time of year where fixtures come thick and fast, especially this January, so we'll move on to the Sunderland game. For you, when we talk about the difference in your side at home and away from home, for you, is it just about sort of the ability to get results over the line? As you know, the performances have been there in the Watford game for large parts and the sort of games leading up to that as well.
Yeah, some of them have. So Watford's been there. I think we've had some really good performances away from home, and we've had some really poor performances away from home. So it's about finding a level of consistency, really. And I think the most important thing for us is when we are competitive away from home, we've got to make sure that we do, as at Watford, we've got to make sure that we do a bit better towards the back end of the game and just take the point and move on. I think we then earn a little bit more grace in other games, but at the minute we've not been able to do that. And some of those poor performances we've had away from home, we've had to very, very quickly react and put right. So it has been frustrating. It's been frustrating that we've talked about a reaction and a bounce back too many times this season. I'd much rather not talk about it because we've had decent and consistent away performances. But yeah, what we have to do is find that level of consistency, and I think Sunday's a really good opportunity for that. Sunderland have got a fantastic home record, and we always put pressure on ourselves to go and perform and to go and win games. But I think the pressure will certainly be on Sunderland to show up and win the game against a side in the bottom four, and I think that gives us a lot of freedom. I think that gives us a lot of freedom to go and express ourselves and to make sure that we do put on that performance that we know we're capable of putting in.
You say about consistency there. Is there any other sort of elements of their game or of performance you need to see from players to help get those results over the line?
Yeah, I think that when we've had a bit of adversity and when we've reacted to that adversity well, then at times we've been absolutely great. And I think the disappointing thing about those two away games, if you look at Bristol City and Derby, is that we didn't react particularly well at going a goal down. We allowed ourselves to sort of compound the mistakes the mistakes we made earlier in the game, compounded it. So both games were 3-0 down by half time and the game's more or less over. We've got to be better than that. We have to make sure that if things don't go for us, if we do make a mistake, fine. We've got to dust ourselves off and go again and realise that there's another 60, 70, 80 minutes to play. So we've got to be a lot better at that, I think, and that will go a long way to help us find that consistency.
Like we've said, a real quick turnaround between now and obviously the game with being on the Sunday. What do the next couple of days look like for the players?
I mean, it's just been about preparation today. So recovery and preparation. We started off by introducing what we were going to do against Sunderland. We did a bit of work out on the training pitch there, so we can start that preparation. We won't do a huge amount tomorrow. We won't really do anything on feet tomorrow. We'll have a training session on Saturday and be ready for the game Sunday. But with a quick turnaround, we've got one extra day than every other side's got. But obviously Sunderland have got that as well, so we have to make sure that we do things right, and we've got the travel in there as well. But it's mostly going to be about tactical prep and recovery.
And Sunderland, they came coming into this game on the back of a great result against Sheffield United yesterday night. So what are you expecting from them?
They're a good side. We saw that at Fratton Park, really good side. They've been up there all season. Their home record, like I mentioned, is absolutely fantastic, and they've managed to stay consistent, I think, in terms of performances, lineups. They've not had a huge amount of injuries this year, and when they have done, I think they bring in some really good players off the back of it. So really good side, very, very well coached, and I think it's going to be a really tough game for us. We've got to go there and make sure that we're at full capacity. But what we have shown is even against some of the big boys, when we do go to places and we put in a decent enough performance, we can mix it.